The Sea Whisperer's Phantom. Deep beneath the shimmering waves, where sunlight danced like golden dust, lived a curious young explorer named Kai. With him was his mentor, Ilara, a brilliant scientist. They were in their sturdy submarine, the Sea Whisperer, on a mission to explore the deepest parts of the ocean. As they descended into the inky blackness, the sonar screen flickered with an anomaly. Not a natural deep-sea creature, but a faint, massive shape, moving with impossible speed. Suddenly, a ghostly, archaic military submarine, its hull corroded and distorted, appeared before them. "It's a phantom," Ilara breathed, her eyes wide with disbelief. Before they could react, the ghostly vessel turned, and from its bow, two dark shapes launched. "Torpedoes!" Ilara yelled, as the, quote, Sea Whisperer was rocked by a violent explosion. Alarms blared, red lights flashed, and a piercing shriek filled the control room. "Direct hit! Hull breach near the forward torpedo tubes!" Ilara shouted, struggling with the controls. Water began to flood the compartment from a mangled section of the hull. "To the emergency mini-sub, Kai. Now, we have to escape." They scrambled into the cramped mini-sub. Ilara sealed the hatch just as a second, even more powerful impact shuddered through the Sea Whisperer. With a desperate surge of power, the mini-sub detached, its tiny lights cutting through the murky water. The Sea Whisperer, now a crippled hulk, began to list, its mangled torpedo tubes a gaping wound. The mini-sub plunged deeper, seeking the jagged embrace of the USS Triton wreck they had just discovered. Its sonar painted a grim picture, a vast graveyard of twisted metal. They slipped into the wreck's skeletal remains, but the Phantom's pings sharpened. It was entering the wreck, tracking them. "It's tracking us through the wreckage," Ilara exclaimed. Ilara pushed the mini-sub to its limits, weaving through collapsed bulkheads and around massive, rusted engines. A sudden, violent tremor shook them. A near miss. "We need to get out of here," Kai shouted. They found a narrow fissure and squeezed through, emerging back into the open abyss. But their relief was short-lived. The Phantom, a dark, silent leviathan, appeared from the wreck's main opening. Ilara consulted the charts. "There's a hydrothermal vent field a few kilometers east. Extreme temperatures, chaotic currents, dense mineral plumes. It might just be enough." The mini-sub plunged towards the vent field, a landscape of towering black smokers spewing superheated water. The water shimmered with heat, and strange life forms clung to the vents. The currents became violent, buffeting the tiny sub. The Phantom's sonar, designed for open water, struggled, its signature flickering erratically. The Phantom, instead of vanishing, emerged from the vent field, closer than ever. But this time, it was different. A shimmering light emanated from its hull, and images began to form in the water around them. A sudden, violent impact, a flash of an unknown alien weapon, and the name USS Leviathan appearing in ghostly script. The Phantom was not a hunter, but a tormented soul, revealing how it had been sunk by a rogue, unknown force, its torment, a plea for its story to be known. The images swirled, becoming clearer. They saw the USS Leviathan on a routine patrol, then a sudden, blinding flash from above, not a torpedo, but something entirely new, something that tore through metal like paper. The Phantom's message was clear. It wasn't an enemy attack, but an encounter with an unknown, devastating force. "It wants us to tell its story," Ilara whispered, understanding dawning in her eyes. "It wants the world to know what truly happened to the USS Leviathan." Kai nodded, a newfound determination in his gaze. Their mission had changed. They were no longer just explorers. They were messengers of the deep.
So, thank you everybody for reading The Sea Whisperer's Phantom by Leo Marsh and Num Num, which I've called my Squishmallow. So thank you for reading it. Bye bye.